I'm Alvarado.
And I'm Madison Kasper. Welcome back, Sharks.
On this episode of Mako TV, there is a new dining option on campus and students were eager to get in line opening day. DCMA took over the UC Spine with performances from students, and we take a closer look at the ribbon cutting for NSU's new softball field. This semester, I have a new co-anchor, our general manager and reporter, Madison Kasper. I'm so happy to have you here.
I'm excited to be here.
The Department of Communication, Media, and the Arts hosted its Waves of Welcome event in the UC Spine. My co-anchor, Madison Kasper, was on the scene.
Nova Southeastern University Department of Communication, Media, and the Arts hosted a Waves of Welcome event featuring dancing, singing, and more from students involved in the department. Olivia Nur, Performance Committee Chair of Shark Talent, explains what she hopes the NSU community takes away from the event.
I hope that they realize anyone can do art. You don't have to be in the department or you don't have to be in a certain program. Like, we are wanting all inclusion. We are wanting everyone, any doctors, any law students, business students, to realize that anyone can art and you should feel free to express yourself on campus.
Cheyenne Howell, sophomore in DCMA, expresses the importance of the event.
This event is a really good way for people to see what the arts do around campus because we're doing something all of the time and a lot of people don't know about it. So having our big Waves of Welcome event is a good place for people to actually see what we do and perform and share our love for the arts.
Although the event was held for the entire NSU community, it held a level of importance for students in the department. Isabella Lapercio, senior in Shark Talent, shares her passion for the arts and what it means to her to be a part of DCMA.
Well, first off, I love dancing. I've been dancing since I was 2 years old, so dance is like a huge thing in my life. It is also my senior year, so I really wanted to dive more into dance. Going forward, I really want to work on the business side of the arts, but being that this is my last year, I really want to dance more. I really want to be involved more in the front aspect since I'm a lot behind the scenes. And I just love supporting the arts and promoting the arts, and this is probably one of the biggest events we'll have all year to promote the arts, so yeah.
The Department of Communication, Media, and the Arts is located on the 3rd floor of the Don Taft University Center. I'm Madison Kasper with Mako TV.
Thank you, Madison. Those performances from the Shark Talent looked amazing. How was it reporting on it?
Well, Mia, it was really impressive to hear from some of the performers and see how they prepped for the event. Up next, Chick-fil-A opened its doors at the beginning of this fall semester. My co-anchor, Mia Alvarado, was on the scene. Let's take a look.
NSU's very own Chick-fil-A opened its doors on campus for the 2024 fall semester. The opening ceremony was complete with the ribbon cutting. President George Hamberry hopes the Chick-fil-A opening will help the students feel heard.
What this means for NSU is that it satisfies their #1 request of all of our students in a survey. And part of our core values are student-centered. And toward that effort, this helps support in a pretty big way our concept and our living one of our core values. Chick-fil-A, 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 Chick-fil-A.
USGA President Daniel Baig was given an opportunity to thank everyone who attended the opening ceremony.
As we officially open Chick-fil-A today, let us not forget that this is just the beginning of our quest and rest our campus. I want to thank you all for coming out today, and who's ready for some Chick-fil-A now?
After a successful opening ceremony and ribbon cutting, students quickly began to line up to see what all the hype was about. Chick-fil-A's opening day line was spilling out the door.
I'm excited for the students. As you can see, it doesn't look like it's too popular from this crowd.
I was definitely not expecting as much hype as it was. I didn't realize it was going to be such a big thing, but it was really cool seeing everyone come together to come support the opening and stuff.
With this opening, students hope NSU Shark Dining will continue to grow and bring in diverse food options.
I feel like Chick-fil-A on campus is definitely an improvement to Shark Dining as a whole, especially with a company that is very well known to the generation today.
With the crowds as large as they are, students' excitement is visible.
I mean, the declining balance is a little bit low, but, the hopes are high, so I'm gonna definitely be here.
With NSU student body growing every year, Chick-fil-A is just the beginning of improving dining on campus. I'm Mia Alvarado with Mako TV.
Thank you, Mia. What kind of feedback have you heard about Chick-fil-A opening?
Well, Madison, just look at the lines every single day. You can tell the students are eager to eat there. And speaking of dining options, our reporter Olivia Nur asked our Sharks where their favorite place to eat is. Let's take a look.
Here at NSU, we have a wide variety of students who come from different cultural backgrounds. Today, I'll be asking Sharks where their favorite place to eat is. Where is your favorite place to eat in the entire world and why?
In Greece, because I'm from Greece, and I think that we have like the best quality food ever.
My favorite place to eat is Chick-fil-A because I love chicken so much, and it's good protein and a good meal to eat after the gym.
Probably Olive Garden because I love their salads. I think that would be my death row meal probably is the Olive Garden endless salads.
My favorite place to eat in the entire world is Wingstop. I love wings. I get a 6-count lemon pepper with fries and a lemonade. I love it. It's my favorite.
Where is your favorite place to eat in the entire world and why?
That's a really good question, and I'd have to say Chick-fil-A. Not just because I'm an employee there, but because it's such good food. I can eat it any time of the day, no matter what, over and over again, and it never gets old to me. And it's just made fresh.
Like different types of sharks, everyone has a different appetite. This is Olivia Nur with Mako TV.
Thank you, Olivia.
Up next, NSU's law program celebrated its 50th anniversary, and our reporter Will Ruprecht has the story.
Nova Southeastern University Law Program celebrated their 50th anniversary. Dean Beto Juarez explains the growth of the program throughout the 50 years.
Well, it's grown in so many ways. I think that part of the reason that we are gathering today to celebrate our 50th anniversary is that it's really been a 50-year trajectory of continued growth. So what's happened since 2020 is really just a continuation of building on the foundation that came before, and everything that we've been able to accomplish in the last few years is building on the hard work of many, many faculty and staff and alumni and donors who have made this law school possible.
Ashley Wilson, current second-year law student in the program, shares her experiences so far.
My experience at NSU Law has been amazing. I've been doing very well. The teachers and faculty are so nice. They really want to help you out. This is a type of degree where you really have to go and get it yourself, but they're here to give you all the resources that you kind of need to get there and be successful.
With the law program evolving at NSU, alumni share their experience with the program.
This is a place to be if you're looking for a family and a long-term family support, not just while you're here as a student and not just when you graduate immediately after law school. The support and the family, a sisterhood, a brotherhood, a sense of community that you gain while you're here continues as you start practicing, and I think that's something very unique to NSU.
Alumni Doug McIntosh shares a word of advice for anyone looking to study law.
Tell them to get in the BS in Law program, undergraduate. It's an accelerator like you cannot believe. I've taught or lectured at one of the classes. The students are tremendous. They're getting an education that you get in your first year law school in undergraduate school. So if they're interested in law, get in the BS in Law program and you'll rock it through.
President Hanbury expresses how the law school plans to grow in the future.
Growth is really going to be in the excellence of our graduates and the teaching that they learn, and the commitment to continue to be on the noble aspect of not just the practice of law, but the theory and the aspect that every one of our students, every one of our graduates, every one of our faculty and staff dedicate themselves or rededicate themselves to making this world a better place to be.
For more information about the NSU Law Program, visit www.law.nova.edu. I'm Will Ruprecht with Mako TV.
Thank you, Will.
Next up, my general manager and co-anchor Madison sat down with Dr. Aubrey Raja to discuss mosquito-borne illnesses. Let's take a look.
Welcome to the Health Update. I'm Madison Kasper. Here with me is Dr. Aubrey Raja, Mako Media's Science and Health Advisor. Welcome, Dr. Raja.
Thank you, Madison.
Our topic today is mosquito-borne diseases. So, Dr. Raja, we've been hearing a lot about mosquito-borne diseases. What are they?
Unfortunately, there are several types of mosquito-borne diseases. They're basically diseases that can be transmitted by a mosquito from one human being to another. And the several types of mosquito-borne diseases that are currently problematic include diseases like dengue, malaria, West Nile virus disease, triple E or equine encephalitis disease, chikungunya. So there are several of these diseases that are transmitted by mosquitoes.
What are the symptoms of these diseases?
Unfortunately, the symptoms of all these diseases are very similar. They tend to include fever, rash, and joint pain.
What are the treatments for these?
So this is where things become problematic. Again, unfortunately, there aren't any antivirals because these diseases are actually viral diseases that are moved around by mosquitoes, but there are no real antiviral medications that people can take. So the only treatment available is what we call palliative care, or just making sure you're okay and taking rest and drinking lots of fluids and keeping yourself indoors. So that's pretty much the only thing available right now.
How does this directly affect college students?
So it affects us at NSU because of just where we live. We live in South Florida. This is an area where these mosquitoes are abound. So naturally, these mosquitoes live here. They are around here, and therefore, they are capable of perhaps carrying these viruses, and therefore, they put all of us at risk in case we get bitten by these mosquitoes.
What is being done in South Florida to reduce the risks of people getting these mosquito-borne diseases?
Right. In fact, the Florida Department of Health does quite a lot in terms of mosquito management or mosquito-borne disease prevention. And one of the ways they do it is to prevent locations or areas where these mosquitoes may breed. And that involves ensuring that there is no standing water around public areas. And even if we do have water, and there's water around us, literally all around us, the water tends to, they tend to make sure that the water is moving. It isn't just standstill water. So they'll put pumps to make sure the water is getting pumped around. And we want to make sure that there are locations that don't have standing water. In addition to that, the Florida Department of Health also will do spraying events and activities to get rid of the mosquitoes.
Any last thoughts?
For us as students who are in college or people who live in South Florida in general, we have to just be vigilant about how we go about our day. Again, in our homes, around our homes, keep the area clean, ensure there's no stagnant water. And for ourselves, watch when we go out. I know it's difficult to put on long sleeve pants and long sleeve clothing when we're out so that we don't get bitten by mosquitoes, but that's one suggestion that's often given is wear protective clothing in that sense so that you're not bitten by mosquitoes, or use some kind of mosquito repellent. And there are many out there that are very safe for use. So they advocate, the Department of Health advocates using mosquito protectants, and using that and keeping our environment relatively clean, we should be able to protect ourselves from these mosquitoes and hopefully thereby protect ourselves from getting these viruses into our system.
Thank you, Dr. Raja.
Thank you, Madison.
This has been the Mako Media Health Update. I'm Madison Kasper. See you next time.
Thank you, Madison.
NSU Department of Communication, Media, and the Arts is staying busy. The opening reception for Guest Artist Exhibition with Manuel Pierre-Louis will be on September 26th from 5 to 7 p.m. in Gallery 217. The exhibition will run from September 26th till November 7th. NSU is collaborating with City Theater Miami to present From Page to Stage, a program of short plays and musicals. The show will take place October 4th and 5th at 7:30 p.m. and October 6th at 2 p.m. in the Black Box Theater. The dance program will be celebrating Dance Awareness Day on October 16th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. in the Don Taft University Center and Miniachi Performing Arts Center. Shark Talent will be hosting its annual showcase on October 18th at 7 p.m. in the Performance Theater on the first floor of the Don Taft University Center. And finally, stay tuned for next episode where we'll have an exclusive interview with City Theater Miami's artist director, Margaret Ledford, with more information about their collaboration with NSU.
For our sports segment, I have our sports anchor, Emily Potter, joining me. Welcome, Emily.
Thank you for having me, Mia.
Very excited to have you back this semester. I heard the new softball field opened up. Have you seen it?
Yes, actually, last Friday, NSU Athletics held a ribbon cutting at the field. Let's watch it. President Hanbury, Coach Julie Lemaire, Interim Athletic Director John Sung, and current softball player Malia Lawson spoke during the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Such a top-notch facility will continue to grow the sport of softball, women's athletics, and the continued high level of success that we have trudged forward with this program.
Whether you're here as a student athlete, or a staff member, I'm sure we can all agree that there's no other family we'd rather be a part of.
With multiple conference championship and a recent appearance in the NCAA College World Series, the bar has been set high. But this complex gives us the ability to aim even higher.
The field is completely made of artificial turf and took around $10 million to construct.
What else is going on with sports?
Thank you for asking. Women's volleyball started season with a perfect opening weekend, defeating West Liberty and Deweyville. They will face Flagler College at 7 p.m. tonight away. Women's cross country finished in first place at the opener, with Lena Sadie being named SSC Runner of the Week. The next meet is September 27th away at FSU. Men's soccer started off the season naming a new interim head coach, Matt MacArthur. Unfortunately, they were defeated in their season opener against Coker University. They play again tonight at 7 p.m. at home.
Thank you, Emily.
To end off our show, there is a new professional women's soccer team, Enfield. Our reporter, Bryce Johnson, has the story.
The Division I women's soccer team recently had their soccer complex remodeled and upgraded. Dion Graham talks more about the facility.
Day one, when the women came into work, I was a bit nervous about the facilities. We were rushing to get things done. And when they came in and like the looks on their faces and how excited they were to have their own facilities as professional women players, like that's been the best day so far.
The new facility brought a lot of excitement to coaches and players alike, bringing a sense of fellowship to the soccer team.
I think I like our locker room because it's where like we are all together, so it's always like a lot of people in there talking, like gossiping, it's fun, like so we can get close with each other. Yeah, I just love to be around the girls, and of course like I love to be at the field, like well here we're working, we're not talking, so since we're just like starting like to know each other, it's just good like to spend time with the girls, and I think the best place for that is our locker room.
We're bringing players from all over the world together under the purpose of elevating and uniting the community around this beautiful game that we all love. And soccer for me, football, has always been like when that ball rolls out, it's a language that everybody understands, right?
With the complex bringing a new wave of optimism to women athletes, Luana Grabrias shares an inspirational message.
Don't give up. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna have like a couple of days and you're gonna tell yourself like you cannot do that anymore, like you're gonna be like really tired, like, but at the end of the day we all need to go, like we need to go through something, and life is not easy, and it doesn't mean like you're not gonna get there. I can say that because my life has been easy and I am here now. This is my dream. And if I had give up like years ago, I wouldn't like be so happy like I am now. So it's gonna be hard, but you can make it. Like just don't give up. Don't stop trying.
To learn more about the Division I women's soccer team, visit FortLauderdaleUnitedFC.com. I'm Bryce Johnson with Mako TV.
Thank you, Bryce.
That is all for this episode of Mako TV. You can catch our solo release videos on our YouTube channel at Mako Television.
You can also follow us on Instagram at NSU_MakoTV. Thank you for watching.
See you next time.
Go Sharks!